Hey everybody, welcome to the Columbus Wired postgame recap. I'm Andy Evans and woo! Okay. All right, Ohio State. I see you now. Big winners over the formerly 2-0 Western Kentucky Hilltoppers here in Ohio Stadium by a final score of 63-10. Buckeyes all over the Hilltoppers today, and they did it in a variety of ways. 562 total yards. Let's just start there. Buckeyes piling it up. A lot of people kind of had their questions about this offense. They looked pretty good last weekend against Youngstown State. How are they going to respond today? Once again, 562 yards, 358 through the air, led by today's starter, Kyle McCord, who was named as such by Ryan Day just a couple of days before today. 19-23, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns. Once again, an interceptionless game for the junior, who looked great on a number of throws, including a 75-yarder to his buddy, you guessed it, Money Man Marvelous Marvin Harrison Jr., a 75-yarder, which now goes down as the longest touchdown catch for Harrison in his OSU career, beating the 71-yarder that he had last weekend against Youngstown State. Harrison led the team, another 100-yard game, as you could probably imagine, with 1 touchdown catch for 75 yards. He had a total of 5 today, 126 yards, the 1 touchdown catch. Cade Stover, pretty good day out of the 5th-year tight end. He had 5 catches for 90 yards, and Emeka Ibuka, 4 catches, 57 yards, 2 touchdown grabs on the afternoon. Also, 204 yards on the ground today. Pretty impressive considering they had yet to put up a 200-yard game. Only 123 last weekend against Youngstown State. They had like 142 against the Hoosiers. 204 today. Travion Henderson. Yep. 13 carries, 88 yards. Once again, 2 touchdowns. So he's got 4 now for the year. He had 2 last weekend against the Penguins. Really, though, for me, the crux of the argument that I wanted to pose towards everybody out there pregame on the Yamo Media Hey Bucks podcast that I got going on with my guys Adam Dell from Yamo Media, and of course, you know, Drew Sample, who's been hanging out with me during the podcast as well as down there at the Woody on Wednesday evenings, was this defense. And I know only 3 points on the road against Indiana. Only 7 points last weekend against Youngstown State. But they were facing an offense today that quite frankly has 2 guys that are being primed by the NFL experts to play at the next level. Quarterback Austin Reed, as well as receiver Malachi Corley. And they had pretty good games today. However, the Ohio State defense really held them in check. Corley, I believe, ended up with like 8 catches for 88 yards, had a 2-yard touchdown catch. That was the only touchdown of the game for the Hilltoppers. That was thrown by Reed. Happened down here in the left corner in the what am I trying to say here? In the second quarter, and really things were close. It was only 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. Ohio State obviously had the lead, and when Western Kentucky scored that touchdown, it was 14-10, and that's when McCord found Harrison for the 75-yarder, and Ohio State outscored the Hilltoppers in the second quarter alone, 35-7, and it was largely thanks to the defense. Listen to this. Today, the defense alone, 8 tackles for loss, including 2 sacks for 11 yards and 4 forced turnovers. 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, two of which, one of each, were for a touchdown. And I'm trying to think of the last time that Ohio State had a 2-touchdown game. And the last time I can think of was like 2000 and, excuse me, when was that? Was that 2018? I want to say the 2018 game against Tulsa, where it was like a really crummy, rainy day, and they had 2 pick-sixes in that game. That's the last time, at least off the top of my head, I can remember Ohio State having a 2 defensive touchdown game. And of course, I'm sure I'm probably wrong, and please let me know in the comment section below if if I am indeed wrong. I'll probably end up looking it up after this, right after this anyways, just to double check. Anyways, crazy game by the defense. Crazy game. Had a forced fumble by Denzel Burke after they had to punt, and Western Kentucky was on their own 5-yard line. The very first offensive play, Denzel Burke causes a fumble. It goes into the end zone, and then it was a scrum. Steel Chambers almost had it, couldn't get it, and then all of a sudden Tyleik Williams just dove in there like a hunting dog, as Ryan Day called him in the post-game press conference. Just dove in there, swallowed up the ball, and Tyleik Williams had himself his first touchdown in his OSU career. But what was even crazier, close to the end of the game, there was about 5-6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. True freshman cornerback, and this kid is going to be a beast, folks. Just remember this name and this number, at least, well, for this season. He'll probably change his number at some point. Number 24, true freshman, Jermaine Matthews Jr. out of Cincinnati. Kid's a beast. Stepped in front of, I believe his name was Bronson Branner. I'm so sorry, Western Kentucky fans and OSU fans. I should have written the guy's name down. I know it's a BB something. It's like Bronson Bannon, I believe. Bronson Bannon or Bannon Bronson, one of the two. Anyways, Jermaine Matthews Jr. stepped in front of his pass right down this sideline here. 58 yards to the house for Ohio State's second defensive touchdown, and ultimately their last touchdown of the game for the 63-10 win. So absolutely unbelievable performance by the Buckeyes. Completely blew away my expectations. If you watch the pregame preview, I called Ohio State 41-20. They obviously ended up scoring, that would have been what, like 3 more touchdowns than what I was giving them credit for, and allowed 10 less points. So this was a game, personally, I felt was a better indication of where this team is at so far going into next weekend on the road in South Bend against Notre Dame. And from what I saw today, I was definitely a lot more impressed by Ohio State's performance than I originally felt like they were going to put up. So there you have it. Once again, Buckeyes big winners over the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers today by a final score of 63-10. As always, I appreciate everybody watching. Have a great rest of the week. We will talk to you on Wednesday after the player interview sessions at the Woody Hayes. So be sure to check out our YouTube channel come Wednesday night and Thursday morning. All right, until the next time, though, everybody take care. Have a great weekend.